Mobile's really come along, hasn't it? Amazing that they can get the new God of War running on your iPhone. Not really, of course. This is the PS4 Remote Play app. My name's James, I'm back from GDC. I've got the obligatory GDC cold, so apologies for my snottiness, but I thought I'd take a look at this, which launched just before we left, and therefore I didn't get a chance to have a go at it. This is the PS4 Remote Play app, which allows you to stream games directly from your PS4, provided you're in the same building and you're connected to the same Wi-Fi connection. Now, as you can see, it physically works, as in I am playing this game, this God of War game, on my mobile phone. My PS4 is in the other room and I am capturing it using the standard Elgato business. So look at that, it is effective on a purely mechanical level. However, from a control perspective, it's an absolute nightmare, and I'm sure you've probably had a go at this by now, being it's been out for a couple of weeks, but this highlights a fundamental problem that we have with the idea of bringing mobile games into the console gaming world, or at least trying to get console games to run on them without any kind of optimization, because it's nigh on impossible to play this game meaningfully using these floaty on-screen buttons. Naturally, I would be having two thumbs on the thumbsticks. I'd be having my first and second fingers controlling the R2 and L2. I'd be using another thumb intermittently to try and take on the controls on the face buttons, the triangle, square, circle, and so forth. But on a mobile phone touchscreen, you got two thumbs, and then it's up to you whether you want to try and yank your thumbs over the top and fiddle around with the controls at the top of the screen and not drop your phone at the same time. Basically, it's an impossibility. It's not been designed, this game, to be controlled on a touchscreen. And it shouldn't be. I'm going to back out of this now because it's kind of pointless. Look, you can run through, here's my dashboard. I can have a look at what I've got going on. These are my games if you are interested in that sort of thing. Let's have a look at my horror collection. The all-important horror. Ah, yes. Now we're talking. I'm a horror guy. So I can play PT, a game which you can no longer get on the PlayStation. I can play that on my mobile now. But obviously, why would I want to if it controls horribly? The thing is, Microsoft are working on something themselves, their X project or whatever it is called, their streaming service, which is going to allow you to stream, I don't think from your console directly, but from their own servers. Now, streaming's become a big thing because I've just been over to GDC and I've seen Stadia, however you pronounce it, which is Google's streaming service, which will allow you to basically play extremely high-end games through a browser, through Chrome, basically. And you can do that on any computer, which is a really interesting model and way to get games into the hands of people who might not have their own console or be able to afford a really high-end console. And there are elements of it which are very interesting. This technology is interesting, but it throws up a whole bunch of concerns. The main one with this is, why doesn't this support a Bluetooth controller? This is why I mentioned the Xbox project, because the Xbox one, you can control it using the Xbox controller. You can use your mobile phone as effectively a dumb screen, and then all you need to do is whack on your Xbox One controller, and bam, you are in the game. If you could use a PS4 DualShock on this service, this Remote Play, this would be awesome. This would be full game-changing, fantastic. You'd lose all these silly floaty buttons. I remember this. Good old PT. It's been a while. Let me tell you, bit stuttery there because of the older lag. Another problem, latency is always going to be an issue with streaming services, even if you're in your own home network. So, another problem for you there. Oh, I forgot that this game is well creepy and excellent. Lovely. But if you had a remote play option in this game which lets you pick up a controller and connect it via Bluetooth or something, game changer. This would be amazing. The fact that you could only use the floating buttons at the moment renders it, from my point of view at least, kind of pointless for all but the most rudimentary of games. If there's just like a one-click game or something, some very small indie title, that would work fine. For something like Red Dead Redemption 2, where it takes about 50 button presses just to open your bag and choose the right item, madness! You can't play with this, so as a result, like, what's the point of this right now? For me, it doesn't really have any. However, we're going to be seeing a lot more of this streaming business. We're going to see a lot more console games being pushed onto your phone, whether you want it or not. So we should get used to this idea, and what we need to identify is what's the best way of doing this? What's the way to make this work right? And I think one step is, if you can get a controller hooked up to it and a decent rock solid connection, then we're in business. Without that, as it stands, this PS4 Remote Play app, I don't see the point of it. So if you like trying to control your console games with, let's face it, basically no control, by all means download and give it a go. If I were you though, I would wait for them to update this with Bluetooth control. Thank you for watching. I'll see you next time.